During my experience in South Africa, I chose to focus particularly on the environment and in turn gained a great wealth of knowledge, not only from the text that I read beforehand and afterwards, but more importantly from my experience there as well. Some of the topics that I plan to cover include environmental history, natural resources and energy, some of the present environmental changes that I saw with my own eyes, as well as the future of the environment in South Africa. To begin with environmental history, throughout the apartheid era, for the most part, South Africa was really lagging behind in terms of environmental regulation on a global scale. For the most part, government and the environment were kept completely separate other than the NGOs, which basically did all the work. However, the apartheid government provided little funding for these NGOs to do the proper work and maintenance that was required, and in turn the environment degraded quite rapidly. In addition, towards the beginning of the early 1980s, the UN began implementing environmental strategies worldwide, the first of which was known as the World Conservation Strategy. About 10 years after this was first implemented, South Africa decided to take it on. At the exact same time that South Africa decided to implement their World Conservation Strategy set out by the UN, the rest of the world was moving on to a new and more modern strategy known as Our Common Future. In turn, the first effective environmental law came into being in 1989 and was known as the Environmental Conservation Act. Due to apartheid, a lot of the black population was moved into these townships, which in turn resulted in overcrowding. Overcrowding the townships depleted natural resources, caused for rapid soil erosion, problems with sewage and sanitation, as well as a lack of water. Many of the homes in these townships not only heat their homes by wood, but also use the wood to heat their food as well. In turn, this emits particulate matter into the air, which can cause health problems such as asthma. And in addition, the harvesting of all this wood to supply these wood stoves with the energy that they need quickly erodes the soil in the surrounding regions. These are just some of the pictures that I took while in Soweto. This is a section of housing that was basically made up of whatever they could find. The people that were living here were waiting to receive government aided housing, and our tour guide Chris stated that the stream that you can see in the background here and that is over to the right, anytime that floods due to the development in the floodplain, all of these homes were subsequently completely wiped out, and the people that lived there would have to rebuild their homes afterwards. This is just another picture that I took while in the Nyanga Township, which is over by Cape Town. This is actually a typical scene while walking through a township in just a massive amount of garbage and litter that just plagues the streets. It severely degrades the environment and can cause issues in runoff pollution as well.